Good evening and welcome to Women of Distinction 2020. I'm Amanda Bryant Friedrich, Dean of the Graduate School and Professor of Pharmaceutical Sciences at Wayne State University in Detroit, Michigan. As a member of the Women of Distinction Committee, it is my honor and pleasure to welcome you to tonight's celebration of 5 incredible women who are changing not only Northwest Ohio, but the world. We are coming together tonight on our phones, our tablets, our laptops, and computers because we recognize the power of connection. Whether it's our connection to the honorees, our connection to Girl Scouts, or our connection to our community, we understand that there's power in joining together. That is when the magic happens. Tonight we are connected for 2 purposes. First, we want to recognize and honor our 5 women of distinction, women of courage, confidence, and character who are paving the way for future generations. Second, we acknowledge the importance of creating opportunities for all girls to develop their own skills and leadership abilities. Your gifts and your support tonight will prepare the way for future women of distinction. Our celebration would not be possible without the support of our sponsors. Please join me in thanking our presenting sponsor, KeyBank, event sponsors Hartman and Associates, Mansour Wealth Management, Laby Electric. Tonight's event also would not be possible without the in-kind production support from Communica, Kevin P. Mullen Consulting, and Buckeye Broadband. I must also acknowledge my fellow volunteers on the Women of Distinction Nominating Committee. Carrie Alexander, Mary Arquette, Deborah Ayers, Beverly Baker, Erin Baker, Candace Harrison, Carol Morisi, Laura Emerson Slusser. Thank you for reviewing the many nominations and selecting our honorees. You kept the focus on the needs of the girls and our future leaders. A special shout out to our board members attending this evening, particularly our Northwest Ohio volunteers, Patty Robb, Amanda Graven, Melanie Towns, Angela Carter, and Maria White. Thank you for your amazing and unwavering leadership and commitment to our girls. We are so pleased to be able to continue this honored tradition and grateful for the many talents and generous support that has made it possible to share it with you tonight. We're delighted to have Christy Hoffman as our MC for the evening. Christy Hoffman is a familiar face and voice to those of you in our region. She is the host and producer of Business 360 on WGTE PBS and NPR's 91.3. She is a leadership, lifestyle, and confidence expert and author of the best-selling book, Total Package Girl. She's an award-winning television host and producer, keynote speaker, and a longtime supporter of the Girl Scouts and Women of Distinction. Christy has spent 2 decades volunteering for organizations that emphasize youth self-esteem, health, mentoring, and physical fitness. A passionate advocate of Girl Scouts, Christy was appointed National Volunteer Partner for Girl Scouts of the USA for her work with girl programming, body image, confidence, and esteem. She has been named 100 Women of Influence and Outstanding Volunteer of the Year by Girl Scouts. Take it away, Christy.
Amanda, thank you so much. I am so happy to be here once again to have the opportunity to talk with all of tonight's Women of Distinction. This year's honorees are amazing, inspirational, and you are really going to enjoy hearing their stories in a few minutes. First, though, we want to share the power of Girl Scouts. Let's hear from a few girls in our council about the impact Girl Scouts has made in their lives.
Girl Scouts is the best thing that could happen in a young girl's life. I really believe that.
There's always something new you can do, and there's nothing that can stop you from doing it if you want to.
I know that I'm changing the world little bit by little, and a little goes a really long way.
When girls are successful, our society is successful, and we all succeed. So I think that's what's really important for everybody to understand is the power of girls together.
Girl Scouts especially has helped me feel like welcomed.
Girl Scouts is the place where you're always loved, cared for, and it's like family.
I was always the shy kid. It really has changed me. I just feel a lot more outspoken.
Being a Girl Scout has been an incredible experience. It has meant a lot to me just because I've been able to try out so many new things, go outside of my comfort zone, gain life skills. It really has helped me put together this picture of who I want to be and what I want to do.
I enjoyed watching my daughter grow up in Girl Scouts and all the amazing experiences that she had and therefore we had together. To watch her become a leader of other girls who was able to stand up and have courage and confidence to step into leadership roles in college.
It has great tradition, but it also evolves with modern times.
Now we have girls who are earning robotics badges and engineering badges and space science. We have girls going to air camp and coding drones. We have robotics teams of girls only.
You're going to climb mountains, you're going to do a whole lot of things. So I think that Girl Scouts has done the due diligence to open those doors, to open our minds.
Girl Scouts absolutely has given me the courage, confidence, and character to make the world a better place, and I will absolutely continue doing that.
It's a wonderful place to be, and you meet a ton of girls that are just like you bond, and they're just going to be sisters, and you have a long journey ahead of you that you don't know what's coming, but it's going to be amazing.
I will do my best to be honest and fair, friendly and helpful,
Considerate and caring.
Courageous and strong,
and responsible for what I say and do.
Respect myself and others.
Respect authority.
Use resources wisely.
Make the world a better place.
and be a sister to every Girl Scout.
And be a sister to every Girl Scout.
And be a sister to every Girl Scout.
How great is that? So inspiring. Nothing can stop you if you're a Girl Scout. But some girls never get started in Girl Scouts, though. Family and community challenges, the lack of leaders can be barriers. However, Girl Scouts of Western Ohio is committed to making Girl Scouts accessible to every girl. This summer, they launched Powering Her Promise, a campaign to raise $250,000 for financial assistance so all girls can take part in Girl Scouts. You can give to Powering Her Promise tonight. Go to gswo.org/women and make a gift. That's gswo.org/women. And if you make a gift tonight, longtime supporters and previous Women of Distinction honorees Billy Johnson and Rhonda Sewell have teamed up to offer a $1,000 matching gift. Your gift tonight will go further thanks to their generous offer. More to come about Powering Her Promise later in the program. The campaign doesn't end tonight, so don't delay. And please know that your gift, no matter the size, most certainly will make a difference to girls right here in Northwest Ohio. And for the next part of our program, it is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce Girl Scouts of Western Ohio's Chief Executive Officer, Ronnie Luckenbill.
Thank you, Christy. On behalf of Girl Scouts of Western Ohio, I am so pleased to be honoring these 5 amazing women tonight: Lesley, Rita, Teanya, Wendy, and Alicia. Through your determination, leadership, and commitment, you are changing our communities and making our world a better place. Thank you. As we celebrate our Women of Distinction tonight, I am so proud to be part of an organization that empowers girls to empower themselves. Girl Scouts teaches girls to know their self-worth, to be advocates for themselves and others, to take action when they see something that's not right, and to move beyond setbacks to be able to succeed. And let me tell you, 2020 has been all about moving beyond setbacks. When the pandemic shutdowns began in March, our cookie program was cut short, leaving many troops with hundreds of boxes of cookies in their living room and garages. But Girl Scouts didn't despair. Girls got creative and troops got creative. As a result, over 200,000 boxes of cookies were sold or donated during the shutdown. The very day that schools closed in March, our program team launched virtual programs, 2 programs each day on Facebook Live, 7 days a week. They continued until Memorial Day, gathering fans from across the country and around the world. Now there are more than 130 informative Girl Scout activities on our YouTube channel for girls of all ages. At the end of May, we made the very difficult decision to cancel all summer camps, something we had never done before. Instead, we launched our virtual summer camp, Adventure Where You Are. More than 1,900 families joined the group, actively participating with their girls as they learn to make campfires and identify wild creatures, hike safely, sing Girl Scout songs, and probably a camp favorite, tie-dyeing their own shirts. However, learning by doing is a fundamental part of the Girl Scout leadership experience, and we still needed a way to deliver hands-on summer camp activities to our members. In less than 4 weeks, we launched the Camp in a Box subscription series to more than 3,600 girls. Through the boxes and the online Zoom instruction that accompanied them, Girl Scouts learned about bugs and whittling and using a compass and how to cook outdoors. The programming we did in summer and spring did more than just teach skills. It built community. Girl Scout programming addresses girls' social and emotional needs, the skills they will need to persevere and to push on through life's challenges. I am so proud of how Girl Scouts have responded throughout 2020. Girls delivered cookies to first responders, to healthcare workers, and to truck drivers. They wrote cards to nursing homes, they sewed masks, and they raised funds for their communities. They gathered via Zoom to support each other and to learn new skills together. Girls and their families are facing many new pressures. Seeing women like those tonight succeeding despite challenges is critical. Seeing women in leadership roles gives girls new visions for their future. Even more importantly is seeing women leaders who look like them. Our work at Girl Scouts has never felt more timely, more relevant, or frankly, more necessary. As the fight for racial justice and equity has gained momentum this year, Girl Scouts of Western Ohio has accepted an even more important challenge, standing against racism, violence, and hate. Girl Scouts strives to be a safe place for all. After all, it's in the Girl Scout law that we will do our best to make the world a better place and be a sister to every Girl Scout. We are fully committed to helping our communities and guiding our girls, our leaders, and our staff through this time. We still have a long ways to go, but with time, education, and dialogue, we can use our collective voices, talents, and power to truly make the world a better place. Our girls, our communities, and our world are counting on us. Fortunately, we don't do any of this alone. We are able to move forward with the support of so many committed volunteers, generous donors, and dedicated community partners, and with the shining success of women like tonight's honorees to illuminate our path. So on behalf of Girl Scouts of Western Ohio, thank you, Lesley, Rita, Teanya, Wendy, and Alicia, for your leadership, for moving beyond setbacks, for remaining steadfastly committed to community, and most of all, for sharing your light with our girls. Congratulations to each of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ronnie, for sharing how Girl Scouts has helped girls thrive with an eye on the future. And now on to the highlight of our evening, the Women of Distinction Awards. The Women of Distinction Award was established to honor the many exceptional women in our community who are paving the way for future female leaders. The honorees have achieved outstanding success and made significant contributions in an impressive array of fields. They serve as role models for women and girls by opening doors, creating opportunities, and cheering them on. They even give hope and inspiration to girls and other women through their achievements and passion for our communities. Women of Distinction honorees are nominated in 5 categories: STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math; financial empowerment; healthy living; community responsibility; and leadership. And they're selected by a volunteer committee. Each of our 2020 honorees will be introduced by a local Girl Scout. Here's Christina. a Girl Scout senior in Troop 11099 from Toledo, to tell you about our first woman of distinction, our STEM honoree.
Honorees in the science, technology, engineering, and math category, or STEM for short, are leaders in STEM careers who promote and advocate for the advancement and recognition of women. They are also role models and mentors and have demonstrated leadership success in STEM. This year's STEM honoree is Dr. Lesley Burhan of the University of Toledo. Dr. Burhan, a well-respected and successful scientist in mechanical engineering, uses her position, her expertise, and her passion to broaden participation of women in all underrepresented communities in STEM. As an associate dean at the University of Toledo, she leads efforts to foster inclusiveness, equity, and respect among students, faculty, and staff, and serves as a liaison with the community to energize efforts to broaden participation in engineering.
Dr. Maria Coleman, it's great to have you here today, and you are the nominator of Dr. Lesley Burhan, who is our recipient of the Women of Distinction 2020. So thanks so much for nominating her and for being here today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Dr. Lesley Burhan has had a family emergency, so she wasn't able to be here. So we're excited that you're a part of the interview.
Yeah, I'm delighted to be able to talk about Lesley.
So tell us a little bit more about Dr. Lesley Burhan, and what was it that prompted you to nominate her for the Women of Distinction Award?
I nominated Lesley because from the time she joined the faculty at the University of Toledo until today, she's been engaged in activities at different levels in her career to encourage young women and to be engaged and interested in the STEM field. Early on, it was more volunteer work and just being involved with programs that existed on campus, through moving her research area into really looking at how we can increase diversity, how we can engage young people in STEM. And to now, she's the Associate Dean for Diversity, Inclusion, and Engagement in the College of Engineering. And she is in charge of putting together programs specifically for that. And so she's impacted thousands of students.
Is this a program that has never been implemented at the University of Toledo?
Within the College of Engineering, she's the first Associate Dean for Diversity, Inclusion, and Engagement. And so she has helped to define that role. And a lot of the programs they're putting into place now are novel to our, not only to this university, but she's won awards for programs that have not existed at other campuses.
She's certainly a pioneer.
Certainly.
Now, I know as part of Women of Distinction, one of the characteristics, if you will, of the award is community involvement and kind of going above and beyond. Tell us more about Dr. Burhan's community involvement and some of those outstanding things that she's been able to accomplish in her kind of tenure here in our community.
Okay. So I think we can kind of start early on. I mean, she was part of developing a group of young women in the high school area for doing it was a computer club, a robotics club, which hadn't existed at any high schools in the Toledo area. She has developed programs for our Engineers Week, which we celebrate throughout the country, but also on campus. But she developed a really nice program where she invited middle schoolers and elementary school students to a Girls in Engineering program, and they went to a movie theater, which she rented out, saw a special video that was designed for this purpose, and that was an award-winning program. And it started out with several hundred the first year and grew the second year. That's sort of a highlight now of our Engineers Week. And so she spearheads those types of activities.
She has been quite an influencer in the world of STEM, particularly in our community.
Right.
What gives her that confidence? What do you see kind of in her world? I know you've nominated her,
right.
So clearly you've seen some confidence in Dr. Burhan. What do you think that is?
You know, I think to start with, Lesley has a passion for what she does. And she has a strong sense, a strong grounding in that what she's doing can influence the lives of a lot of people and improve the lives. And she's developing processes and pathways for people to become more successful. And I think that gives her confidence in doing it. And she does it really well.
Thanks so much for being here and for nominating Dr. Burhan for Women of Distinction. It's great to have you here as well. We appreciate it.
Yeah, it was my pleasure.
Congratulations, and thank you, Dr. Coleman, for sharing these insights about Lesley. She's definitely a passionate pioneer in encouraging girls to explore engineering and STEM. Congratulations to Lesley Burhan, a Girl Scouts of Western Ohio 2020 Woman of Distinction. And next we have Kimmy, a Girl Scout cadet in Troop 10350 from Toledo, to introduce our Financial Empowerment honoree.
Nominees in the Financial Empowerment category advance the roles of women in finance, empower future business leaders, and invest in the financial future of the community. This year's Financial Empowerment honoree is Rita Mansour of Mansour Wealth Management and partner of McDonald Partners. Recognized by Forbes/Shook as one of the top financial advisors in the United States. Rita advised clients nationally and around the world with a vast client list involved in various areas of commerce. Rita is not only highly regarded for her professional accomplishments, but equally treasured for humanitarian efforts and involvement in many civic and philanthropic organizations.
Rita Mansour, congratulations, 2020 Women of Distinction Award.
Thank you.
So well deserved.
Thank you very much.
And we want to know more about you. So talk to us about the fabulous things that you do for our community and for our region in terms of some of the projects that you've been involved in.
Well, I think there are a lot of different things that I've done, primarily because I grew up here. I've never left Toledo. I'm proud of that. So I've participated in everything from the arts to human services, things like the Arts Commission, the Museum of Art, ProMedica, just lots of similar things to that.
The list is long. I know that it is.
I don't know that it's long, but as you know, growing up, your journey is what it is, and so they're all additive. They become part of who you are, so it's hard to recognize sometimes.
Mm-hmm, for sure. So Rita, you have been involved in so many projects. Give us an example or tell us about one that is really a passion project of yours.
Well, my latest passion project is going into refugee camps. My roots, my parents are both immigrants from Palestine, and it's important for me to try to help give back there, because what I've seen is those kids get stuck in those camps and never get out, and then there are generations of those children there. And so part of what we do is go in and give the kids hearing aids so that they can get out, get educated, get jobs, and change the trajectory of their life.
That is so admirable. What a wonderful project.
Thanks.
What woman or person in your life would you say has influenced you the most?
I think a number. I mean, it's kind of hard to say. Of course, my older sisters have. There have been dear friends and business people such as, Barbara Steele would be one that I might mention off the cuff, because she pioneered being a nurse into leading a big institution as a business person. And it is cliche, but my mentor is my mother. She had to endure a lot. As I mentioned earlier, my mother's a refugee. So at the age of 14, she lost her home. They were trying to flee. She lost her brother. She saw her brother get killed, trying to get out of there safely. And then 2 weeks later got news that her father was blown up in a coffee shop. But she sustained that, and she, eventually they fled to Jordan. She learned how to sew to help put food on the table for the family, and she still went to school, and they were able to succeed. She met my father and came here and raised, children and taught us the importance of education, was very patient with us. So while she lost her identity, she was able to regain her identity. I get a little emotional about it, but my mom has sustained a lot, and she has taught us to be patient and kind. She has not one bitter word to say about anybody, and I think that's the type of mentor that's really important to have.
And I can see that she has really passed on to you that courage, the strength, and that ability to work through anything. Because I know from your experiences and what I know of you, which is, I've known you a long time,
That's right.
which is really, you don't stop until you reach the goal and you put your heart and soul into things and everything that you do, Rita.
I try.
Rita, you have done so many great things for our community and for our region, and for that we thank you, and you are so well deserving of this 2020 Women of Distinction Award.
Thank you, Christine.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Truly one of Toledo's treasures. Rita, we admire your deep involvement in our community. Congratulations to Rita Mansour, a Girl Scouts of Western Ohio 2020 Woman of Distinction. And next we have Autumn. a Girl Scout senior in Troop 1205 from Toledo, to introduce our Healthy Living honoree.
Nominees in Healthy Living promote the importance of emotional and physical health and understand the role it plays in living a positive life. These women are leaders in health and wellness fields. This year's Healthy Living honoree is Teanya Norwood of ProMedica. A dynamic nurse and health educator, Teanya has used her platform to build a health outreach program that engages young mothers, seniors, and homeless individuals, connecting them with information, programs, and tangible resources to improve their health and well-being. From maternal health, exercise, healthy eating, health advocacy, financial health, and the importance of education, Teanya is a leader in the movement for a healthy Toledo.
Teanya Norwood, congratulations on your 2020 Women of Distinction Award.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
It is so nice to have you here with us today and talking about Women of Distinction and yourself a little bit more and the impact that you've had on our community.
Yes, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. So I'm honored. I'm honored to be sitting here with you today.
Well, likewise, we can't wait to hear more about you. Was there a time in your life where you feel like you really spoke up and you used your voice for change or to make a difference in something that perhaps you wouldn't have earlier in your life, but that you've really kind of stepped out and said, this is my time, I need to use my voice and really be strong about a particular issue?
Right. I think my role with social determinants of health and serving as the health outcomes manager has really empowered me to advocate for what's needed in our communities and for vulnerable populations. Given the evidence of, that 80% of what happens to us health-wise is not related to any medical factors. It has to do with our social conditions, our environment, our lifestyle habits, and understanding disparities that exist and how to mitigate those disparities and scaling those to the system to say, we all have work to do in this area. How do we collaborate? How do we move the needle? How do we impact lives? And how do we do this collectively? And so I think being in this role, I have to advocate for the community. I'm passionate about advocating for the community. I've learned how to advocate because I think as a nurse, being at the bedside is much different from being in the community. So it takes a different kind of grit to, get things done, and you're going to have, you face oppositions, and, the passion that is behind the work is what keeps me going.
Well, and it's a great fit for you.
Yes.
And kind of the way you've been brought up.
Yes.
And your passions. And so I feel like you are really in your element, and you continue to make an impact on our community in so many positive ways.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you could give advice to a young you, what would that advice be?
I could say a lot of things like stay in school, be patient, be kind, be generous, have humility. But none of that really is important if you don't believe in yourself. I think the most important thing I can tell people is to believe in themselves.
And it's hard. There are days where it's hard to believe in yourself, but I think that is the most wonderful advice for young girls and young women today.
Yes, and I mean, there's other things I can say. Learn about saving, learn about investing, learn about letting your passions drive you towards your career. Right? Don't let your fears paralyze you. I can say all of that, but if you don't believe in yourself, nothing else really matters. Right?
Amen.
And so you got to believe in yourself. And surround yourself with people who can help motivate and inspire you. I think about all the NFL players and sports players and the ones that think about Michael Jordan and how great he is, and all the other, basketball players and sports players that have just been amazing. And even though they've been the best, one thing that they have all had was a coach. No matter at what level of success they were at, they always had a coach, right? And so I think there's so much to be said in life about what a coach and what a mentor can do for you as you navigate life's journey.
It's so true.
Because even at our best, we still have opportunities to grow and to improve. And sometimes we can't see it.
It's so true. I think the Girl Scouts of Western Ohio, recognizing women of distinction, that in and of itself really shows that women are supporting women, helping people along, their journey, and recognizing that.
Absolutely.
Teanya Norwood, congratulations on being a recipient of the Women of Distinction Award 2020. Thanks so much for being here and congratulations.
Thank you, my pleasure.
So many words of wisdom, Teanya. Our community is so lucky to have you as our advocate. Congratulations to Teanya Norwood, a Girl Scouts of Western Ohio 2020 Woman of Distinction. And next we have Sarah, a Girl Scout cadet in Troop 1662 from Toledo, to introduce our Community Responsibility honoree.
Nominees in the Community Responsibility category care deeply about making a difference in their community by helping to make the world a better place. These women are leading change through giving, service, and mission-driven organizations. This year's Community Responsibility honoree is Wendy Pistrew of the United Way of Greater Toledo. Wendy's dynamic leadership as president and CEO of United Way of Greater Toledo has brought together private, nonprofit, and public sectors around a new approach to internalized social challenges and focused on results-based accountability. Described as a fearless advocate and a catalyzing leader, she develops collaborative approaches to problem solving, energize partners, and around shared values of service and community.
Wendy Pistrew, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you. Very exciting.
It's great to have you here for the 2020 Girl Scouts of Western Ohio Women of Distinction. As a recipient, I want to say congratulations and so well deserved.
Thank you. It's such a great organization. I was so excited when I found out. It was thrilling.
Well, you've done so much for the community. Tell us a little bit more about some of your community involvement.
Well, and it's been exciting to be at United Way particularly because I think it's an organization that can be who it needs to be in the moment. It's been around for 102 years. And so professionally, I've had that opportunity to engage with a number of organizations and partners and try to grow those relationships. But then personally as a volunteer, I've always enjoyed working in the community. And I guess, if you feel a little like Forrest Gump, you're in one place or another and you have these experiences that really enrich you and for the rest of your life give you something special.
Mm-hmm. For sure, and you have so many building blocks along the way. You've been a part of many organizations. Talk to us about whether or not you've been a Girl Scout.
Yes, enjoyed it as a child, and I always joke it was a party that you went to every Thursday afternoon where everybody wore the same thing. I just loved it. But it set me on a place, like I think a lot of my friends, where you love women's organizations, you love the opportunity to be together, to learn, to achieve things, and to grow into the person you become, and it empowers you.
100%. Was there a woman in your life or a person in your life who influenced you to kind of be the woman that you are today?
That's pretty easy, and I'm very lucky. Again, my mother. And my mother was involved in our community and like no other. She's actually won a number of awards over her lifetime as a volunteer, and she started everything I can think of, from the Domestic Violence Center where I grew up, Ronald McDonald House, Safety Town. Her name is on the charters of a number of organizations that make an impact in people's lives, and she just set an amazing example and took me with her and taught me, and I still call her now when I have United Way, things I'm concerned about or things I'm working on. She's always a tremendous resource.
Interesting. And there's a Girl Scout slogan in a campaign that is, "A girl is watching, what is she learning?" Sounds like you really learned a lot from your mother.
I was really lucky, and my dad supported her, and it helped her make sure that she could achieve what she wanted to in community.
100%, yes. Talk to us too about one piece of advice you would give to the Girl Scouts in our community and beyond that has really kind of changed your life, maybe something that someone told you as you were growing up or perhaps through your career.
It's funny because people tell you a lot to be fearless as a girl, a woman. They're, be fearless. And I'm like, I think fear is not such a bad thing to take into consideration sometimes. Trying to tell you something, trying to protect yourself, and you figure out how to modulate that for yourself. And so I think, you want to be not fearful, but not necessarily fearless, because you want to temper it and make good decisions. And that's where you really go to others. Collaborate around your ideas, collaborate around your thinking. You'll find that a lot of other people might be afraid to go it alone, but if you do it together, you will become fearless.
Well, you have certainly exemplified why you are a recipient of the Women of Distinction Award. So congratulations again, Wendy Pistrew.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Such a wonderful example with smart advice, working together with others to become fearless. Congratulations to Wendy Pistrew, a Girl Scouts of Western Ohio 2020 Woman of Distinction. And finally, we have Sydney, a Girl Scout ambassador in Troop 1534 from Toledo, to introduce our leadership honoree.
Alicia tirelessly gives her own time, talent, treasure, and influence to help her most vulnerable neighbors, especially women, live up to their full potential. Earlier this year, she turned her restaurant, Fallen Fodder Downtown, into a market and meal delivery service to make sure no family went without basic needs and quality food during this pandemic. Alicia constantly speaks out against social, gender, and economic injustice, seeking to create a world where dignity, health, and independence is available to all.
Alicia Wagner, congratulations, Woman of Distinction recipient. We're so happy to have you here.
Oh, thank you so much. What an honor and a privilege, and just thanks for the opportunity to be here with you.
Just start with the important questions. Favorite Girl Scout cookie?
Oh, hands down, I'm a Thin Mint girl. 100%. I mean, I don't know how Thin Mint can't be your favorite. I think it has two functions. Best Girl Scout cookie in the world, right? It's good plain out of the box, or frozen gives you a completely different dynamic. And number two, you can't house a half a sleeve of tag-alongs before you go into a meeting and not have peanut butter broth. So I think it also doubles as snack and breath mint.
Do you have that one memory or that one moment growing up in Girl Scouting that kind of comes to mind?
Yeah. It's going door to door selling Girl Scout cookies. I mean, I lived in a small town growing up, and it was a really great way to get to know my neighbors. But I went by myself. I mean, even at a very young age, I'm the one that went door to door and talked to all my neighbors, asked them if they would like to buy boxes of Girl Scout cookies, and not a box because you want to win. So you're going to say, do you want to buy boxes, right, of Girl Scout cookies? But it truly helped give me confidence. I know to land even my very first big girl sales job, and it was from knocking on doors. And so it really taught me confidence. It taught me how to talk to people. It taught me how to connect. And so truly every year for that handful of years I was a part of Girl Scouts, it was knocking on those doors and just selling those Girl Scout cookies.
You have been really involved in the community. And why don't you tell us a little more about some of your community involvement and what's really important and special to you about our community?
Yeah, so the most important and I feel dynamic thing about our 419 community is the people. And so what a lot of people don't know in Toledo is that we have more nonprofits here in Toledo than even a Chicago. And so I don't know if you need more explanation to know that that's the heart of the people that live in this community. And so we have people here that want to help the most vulnerable. And then those nonprofits need people supporting them with their time, talent, treasures, and resources. And so whether it's the people starting the nonprofits or the people that we have here in Toledo who are uplifting those nonprofits, it's the people here who truly, I feel, make Toledo a model for other cities, is to how to do it, how it's done, and what we can do to change hearts and minds of people who need it most in their community.
And you are one of those people that really just rolls up your sleeves and gets it going and gets it done.
Yeah.
So how did that start with you?
Again, I'm telling you, this was very serendipitous, especially this year, winning this award, and it was completely unexpected. And so by processing a lot of this, it truly is through the Girl Scouts. And so when I got, some of the paperwork and had to look at the Girl Scout promise again, which is right, I will honor God and I will help those. And so when I really had to take the onion and peel it back and look at the Girl Scout promise, it really showed me where a lot of these fundamentals came from. And so I really do credit the Girl Scouts and what it did for me and where the principles, basics, and morals came from for where I learned to want to roll my sleeves up, get into my community, and do the things that were going to make a difference.
For sure, for sure. Alicia Wagner, congratulations, 2020 Women of Distinction. Nice to have you here.
Thank you so much.
From Girl Scout cookie sales to a lifetime of community leadership, that is exactly why we're all here tonight. Congratulations to Alicia Wagner, a Girl Scouts of Western Ohio 2020 Woman of Distinction. These 5 honorees now join an exclusive sisterhood of women that are leading the way for our future girl leaders. They join an illustrious list of 130 past Women of Distinction honorees. And now, I have the pleasure of introducing to you Ella from Troop 1186, who will lead us all in the Girl Scout Promise.
Got it. On my honor, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout law.
Thank you so much, Ella. Now we have a story from Keisha Freeman, who leads Troop 10435, and she wants you to know all about her very active Girl Scouts.
I grew up in the Old West End, and I currently still live in the Old West End. A lot of the activities I remember were participating in Girl Scouts. My mom actually was a Girl Scout. The reason why I became a Girl Scout troop leader was to give my kids, my daughters, that Girl Scout experience. I have been a Girl Scout troop leader for 8 years at Old West End Academy. We've had as many as 40 girls in our troop, ranging from kindergarten to 12th grade. The majority of our girls have been with us 8 years. We have done things as far as community service with local homeless shelters and our local Old West End nursing home. We've also participated in the Old West End festival parades and our yearly etiquette class, where we have an etiquette coach come in and talk with our girls and do multiple classes. At the end of our etiquette class, we host a banquet or a tea party. We send out, as we call them, royal invitations to all of our Girl Scouts and parents. We do have our parents and family members come in and participate in our tea party with us. The young ladies help with the decorations, the centerpieces. They love the actual tea sets. They learn how to have conversations with all the other guests. They also use a lot of their training from the etiquette classes. The main ones that they do are the homeless shelter at Christmas time, where they bring in personal items for the young women at the homeless shelters. A lot of the girls like to gift wrap, so we have a gift wrapping party. And we wrap them up and send them to the homeless shelters in baskets. And the ladies at the shelter love to receive gifts. They do go on field trips with Girl Scouts, and some of them have participated in the Girl Scouts summer camp. At Camp Libby, they participate and stay for a week. They have different adventures, from swimming to archery to horseback riding. It depends on the adventure that they select. The girls enjoyed the campfires at the Camp Libby. They also participated with a lot of the hiking, which is something that they normally don't do living in the inner city. They really enjoyed the hiking. They have had an adventure where someone stepped on a beehive during the hike, and the girls didn't know, and they just saw them all running. So it was really funny to hear them. And even now, it was a couple of years ago, the girls still remember that and talk about it a lot. We have had a couple of our campers who had never been to camp, and they were normally very shy and closed off. By the time they left, they had new friends from other schools and other cities. One mother actually told us they were in the mall and her daughter ran across one of the other Girl Scouts that she met at camp. And to see her daughter interact with someone that she barely knew and that she learned to become friends with made her day. We actually have girls that have gone off to college and high school, and they do come back and they just want to check on the girls. They participate and help us out with cookie season, which is a big thing for our girls. Our girls normally sell cookies, and at that time, they give half of their proceeds to a charity, and the other half, they have a slumber party. Right now, we actually have a couple of our girls. One in particular, she started out a little rough around the edges. She went to camp and enjoyed herself very much. Right now, she is currently in high school, and she is still participating in our Girl Scout troop. She is currently looking to study environmental engineering. The girls in my troop have developed sisterhood, community service, and womanhood. My girls are currently in 8th and 9th grade, and I will continue on doing it after they graduate.
Thank you so much, Keisha, for sharing your story and for all you do for the girls of Troop 10435. It is so wonderful to see a troop so connected to each other and to serving their community. And now, Candace Harrison, a member of the Women of Distinction Committee, has one final request for all of you. Hey, Candace.
Hello.
Hi.
So I'm here this evening to ask for your support for the Girl Scouts of Western Ohio. We have heard some amazing stories from our recipients, as well as stories from our actual Girl Scouts. And tonight we ask you to support them so that they can become women of courage, confidence, and character. We are not raising or creating leaders of the future. They are creating leaders right now. And what we do know is that 40% of Central City young ladies need to have some sort of financial assistance, and they rely on support from people like you to help them become Girl Scouts, attend camp, and do all of the amazing things that the Girl Scouts do. Through the pandemic, one of the things that I've noticed is that families are really concerned with basic needs, not even families who are financially strapped, but families are concerned with basic needs. And so when you think about families who have to send their children to school to have food, you know, when you shut a school district down and the first thing people are concerned with is, how are my children going to eat? Think of how even more difficult that becomes to think about sending that child to camp. So while you can't provide a child their basic needs, you can provide them the opportunity to become a young leader who will be the leader of today and the leaders of tomorrow. So with that being said, before this event even began, Mrs. Billy Johnson and Rhonda Sewell, who are two recipients of this amazing award, and they stand alongside the wonderful recipients of today, they have kicked today's giving off with a $1,000 gift. And they are hoping that you will be inspired to also give to support a young lady from our area become a woman, a young lady, and into a woman of courage, confidence, and character. Please feel free to go to the website, gswo.org/women, and give this evening. We really appreciate your support. And from a former Girl Scout, a former Girl Scout troop leader, and a mother of a Girl Scout, we appreciate everything that you can do and that you will do. Thank you.
Thanks, Candace. On behalf of Girl Scouts of Western Ohio, congratulations again to our honorees. You are truly an inspiration for all of us. And thank you again to our sponsors, in particular, our presenting sponsor, KeyBank. And finally, thanks to all of you for choosing to spend your time with Girl Scouts this evening. Enjoy your evening, and thank you.
Because of Girl Scouts, I've been able to see my daughter just boost in confidence. Her self-esteem has improved. She's just a totally different kid from when she first started.
It's a place where girls can not only hone their leadership skills, but they're finding their voice, their identity, who they are.
There's also the empowerment, letting girls know that you are a young girl, but you're powerful, you're inspiring, and you can make a difference.
It is a wonderful opportunity for our little girls to develop and grow into great young women.
Young girls looking to be a Girl Scout, you should definitely go for it because you get lifelong lessons, friendships, and you get amazing opportunities.
It's available to you. Like you can do it. You can make a difference. All you have to do is be a Girl Scout.
What a great video, what a great cause. Again, enjoy your evening. Thanks for being with us this evening. And please go to gswo.org/women to donate. Thanks again.